Hello everyone. Today I thought I'd do a very quick share of my current journal. This is not an art journal, this is my sort of diary stroke journal stroke smash book. So I'll show you how I use it and I'll speed that up. That'll only last for a little while, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail for you. So I hope you enjoy it. So as I said, this is the journal I'm currently using. This was a book that you saw me made in my how to make a journal video. I think it was about a year ago now. I didn't start using it straight away. I didn't start using it until about December, when my last journal ran out. And this was my last journal. This was the one that I was writing in before that. This is just a pretty book that I found in TK Maxx. I don't always make journals. I'm always attracted to pretty books. I can't help myself. So this was a really pretty one, and again I use that as a kind of used it as a smash book come journal, which is what I want to talk to you about today really. Even from a young age, I mean, this was a journal that I had when I was a teenager, and this is very, very, very old. Even then, I still did the same thing then, kept it, you know, my journal was like a smash book. I mean, this is Friday the 2nd of March 1979. It's going to give you a little hint on my age there. But even then I kept, you know, little pockets. I mean, this is just a sweet packet, I think, or some sort of packet that I had. But it's very old and delicate now, and I keep lots of personal ephemera in there. But yeah, that was a very early journal from many moons ago. So yeah, the reason I suppose I wanted to do this video was just to show you, talk to you a bit about what I do, how I keep my journals, and really to say that there aren't any rules with journal keeping. This is, I keep mine in a way that suits me, and that's personal to me. But you know, if you want to start keeping a journal, and there's no, sometimes you think, oh, it's too late, I should have been keeping one years ago, or just start writing. It's lovely to be able to look back on an old journal and read things and record things, and you know, now for my children as well, because my children are grown up, but they one day they'll probably read these journals, and it would be nice, hopefully, for them to have a record of what my thoughts were. So let's have a quick look at it then. I'll show you. So what I tend to do is, excuse the state of my hands as well, I've been painting as per usual. I like to have pockets in my journals because I can pop things in them, like you saw, ephemera, but also like if I go to a hotel or stay away, I quite often tend to pinch the paper. Not pinch it, it's in the hotel room for you to use, you know. But then I can use that to write on in my journal as well. So I love all that. And I'll tend to, sometimes I'll decorate pages in advance. So like for instance this weekend, Molly, my youngest daughter, and myself, we sat down with our journals and just randomly stuck washi tape, card, you know, papers. I did punch outs. I'll scribble on my pages, use up fabric and embellishments that I've not used that are sort of lying around, I suppose. So I'll do that. I'll tend to decorate them up in advance, but also I might get carried away and I might have not have had time to decorate it, so, or stamping. I do lots of stamping in my diaries as well, my journals. But sometimes I'll write, you know, I'll write for a few days and then go back and decorate the pages. And I tend to use my journals as a smash book as well. So I like to keep memorable things from, like recently we had a weekend in London and I've kept the train tickets and the tickets for the shows that we went to see, and this was some paper from that particular hotel that, because I didn't take my journal with me, I forgot to take it with me, so I wanted to write some bits and pieces, so I wrote on the paper and I just tipped it in when I got home. So yeah, that's how I like to keep my journals. Like I say, lots of scribbling and thank you cards. With things like thank you cards, you tend to put those things either in the bin or you stick them in a memory box like me, and then you forget that you've got them, and it's nice to have them so that you can look back and remember that somebody said thank you for something that you did or you gave them, or you know. And the other thing I really wanted to sort of say is don't get too hung up about writing every day. I certainly don't write every day. I am a nightmare. I can go for a couple of months actually and not write a single thing, and then I'll be like, oh, I need to catch up on what's gone on, and it'll be a little bit like a catch up with an old friend. You know, I'll sit down, I'll recall whatever date it is on that particular day, and then I'll just go back over the last couple of months and say, well, this is what's happened, and write my, you know, my little catch up with my old friend, my journal. And then other times I'm really good and I'll write every single day. So don't beat yourself up if you are not, you know, good about keeping your journal every single day. Also, while I think about it, the other thing that I do with my journals is I keep a fitness log in the back of them. So I run a little bit, not a huge lot, as you can see from my log. But I like to keep a record of the date that I ran, what my heart rate was, how many miles I did, how many calories I burnt, because I've got all that on my running machine. Or if I've run on the road, I'll write that I've run on the road. But it's nice to keep a record of that. It's interesting to keep a record of that because you can see if you're improving or, you know, if you're getting worse. Depends on how often you run, like me, probably not as often as I should. But yeah, so I thought I'd just give you a quick share of that journal. I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about. Let me just go over my little list that I made. Yeah, that is it. That's everything. So if you've got any questions, you know, feel free to ask me, and I hope you found that interesting and useful. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.